Hello, my name is Treatz. I'm the support for Movistar riders and I'm gonna show you how to play Rakan. Rakan is a really good engaged champion and he's extremely good in team fighting, but he also has a strong laning phase when paired with Xayah. He's pretty overall flexible in his role in the game and can change a lot depending on game to game. Rakan's main goal is most likely to engage, but it can also be to peel his carries. Most often he's served as a really strong engage tool. He provides a lot of utility with his E and Q, which heals and shields. He also has the ulti, which charms, and the W, which knocks up, so he has a lot of CC and utility in general. And paired with some items like Locket and Redemption, he's a really strong team fighting support. Basically, there are two paths you can take on Rakan. The most common one is to go for Guardian, which is the more defensive option. And on the second tree, you always go for Inspiration. Magical Footwear and Perfect Timing are really good because they provide a lot of utility and free gold. So you go for Guardian, Demolish to kill towers faster, Iron Skin for a stronger laning phase, and Revitalize for stronger heals and shields on your allies, on yourself. And the more aggressive option you can go for is Summoner Spellbook, where you can either start with Exhaust and Ignite for a really strong early game power spike, or you can also start Flash and Ignite and just have really short Summoner spell cooldown so you can constantly play aggressive in the lane. The skill order on Rakan is pretty simple. You start with your W for a really strong lane if you have Xayah, and you want to put your E level 2. Then after that you want to always put 3 points in Q before you start maxing W. You have to always think about your role in the game as Rakan and what you should give to your team. Is it more peel? Okay, then you max your E first. Is it more engage type? Then you should max your W first. Rakan's laning phase is pretty dependent on what champion he plays with. If he plays with Xayah, you have a pretty aggressive early game, I would say. And you always want to look for aggressive Ws, for really hard trades, because if you land a W with Xayah, you always win against any champion in the game. If you play with a normal champion such as Ezreal, then you most likely just want to farm up until you get your ultimate. I always start with the Spell Thief's Edge and 3 health potions. Your first back on Rakan, always optimally you want to get Sightstone and Frostfang. Because you're running the magical footwear rune, you cannot buy boots, and that allows you to just upgrade your Sightstone and Frostfang really early. The mid-game build for Rakan usually looks like mobility boots, Sightstone of course, Frostfang, most likely upgraded to Eye of the Watchers, and then you want to look at your comp and enemy comp. If you have a lot of attack damage carries which can utilize Ardent Sensor, you want to get Ardent Sensor as soon as possible. If it's a pretty normal comp, well-rounded, you want to get the Redemption as soon as possible as well. After you have the Redemption and Ardent, it depends on which one you grab first, you get the other, and after that you want to get a Locket. This is just for overall team fighting strength. My 6th item Rakan build would be Mobility Boots, Eye of the Watchers, Redemption, Ardent Sensor, Locket of the Iron Solari, and Seek's Harbinger. My top tip would probably be the fact that you don't need to use your R when you want to combo it with your W, that you can use your R before your W and run at them with the charm first. My second best tip would probably be that you can Q W. You can kind of animation cancel your Q with your W, so you cast them at the same time, which is a lot of damage in one single time. My third tip would honestly be just to utilize your auto attacks. Rakan has pretty good auto attack range, longer than melees, but shorter than a ranged, so it's in the middle. And he has a lot of damage from his auto attacks, especially with Xayah, so you always need to utilize them well.